All right, let's dive in. We're going to pull back the curtain on the whole world of business. I mean, think about it. From the coffee you're drinking right now to the screen you're looking at, it's all part of this huge connected system. So, how does it all actually work? Let's find out. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start super broad, with the big question: why do we even work in the first place? Then we'll narrow it down to what really makes something a business. From there, we'll look at the different ways people can earn a living. And then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of how stuff gets made and moved around. And to wrap it all up, we'll look at a real-world snapshot of small businesses. Sound good? Let's go. So have you ever stopped to think about what all your daily activities have in common? I mean, really think about it. You go to work, maybe you help out a neighbor, you work on a side hustle. They seem totally unrelated, right? Well, it turns out they all fit into one of two major buckets. And understanding these two categories is key to understanding, well, everything about our economy. All right, first up, section 1, why we work. We're starting at the 30,000-foot view here, really unpacking the motivation behind pretty much everything we do. And here it is, the big split. Everything we do is really on two sides of the same coin. On the left, you've got your economic activities. This is the stuff you do to earn money, to make a living. Your job, your business, this is what adds to the national income. But on the right, you have non-economic activities. This is the stuff you do for every other reason. For love, for personal satisfaction, for your family. Think about your hobbies or helping a friend move. No money changes hands, but man, it's just as important for a happy life, right? Okay, that makes sense. We've got economic and non-economic. So now, let's zoom in on that first category. We're going to drill down from why we work to how one of the biggest parts of it all works. That brings us to section 2, what makes a business? So what is a business, really? Here's the textbook definition, but let's make it simple. It's basically any activity where you're making or swapping stuff people want, whether it's a physical product or a service, with the main goal, the number one goal, of making a profit. That's the core of it. But as always, there's a little more to it than that. So what are the key ingredients? What really separates a business from just, a random transaction? Well, there are 5 key things. First, it has to be a regular thing. Like selling your old couch on Facebook one time, that's not a business. But if you're flipping couches every weekend, now we're talking. Second, and we just said this, the main point has to be making a profit. And third, this one is huge. There has to be risk. You have to have some skin in the game. If there's no chance you could lose money, it's not really a business venture.
But, starting a business isn't for everyone. It's not the only way to earn a living. So for section 3, let's compare the main paths that people take. Business is one, but what are the others?
Okay, this chart lays it out perfectly. Look at the 3 main lanes: business, profession, and employment. For employment, a regular job, your reward is a salary. The risk? Pretty much zero, which is great. Now jump over to business. The reward is profit, which could be massive. But look at the risk. It's high. You could lose everything. And then there's profession. Think doctors, lawyers. Their reward is a professional fee, and the risk is pretty low. You can see how the qualifications and even how you get started are totally different for each one. It's all about what level of risk you're willing to take for the potential reward. All right, so let's get back to that business path. We know what it is, but how does it work? Let's go under the hood. Section 4 is all about the engine of business, making stuff and getting it to people. First, you have industry. The easiest way to think about industry is it's the making part. It's literally all the stuff involved in producing goods. We're talking mining, manufacturing, construction, taking raw materials and turning them into something useful. But of course, making something is only step 1, right? You have to get it to the people who want to buy it. And that is where commerce comes in. If industry is the making part, commerce is the moving part. It's the whole system that gets those goods from the producer all the way to you, the consumer. So here's how that flow works. Step 1, industry. The goods get made. Step 2, commerce. The whole system for exchange is set up. It's like building a bridge between the factory and the store. And step 3, trade. That's the final piece. That's the actual buying and selling happening on that bridge. Makes sense, right? Make it, build the bridge, sell it. Now, that bridge of commerce can't just stand on its own. It needs some serious support beams, and that's what we call the helpers of trade. Each one of these solves a huge problem. Got a problem with distance? Transportation is your answer. Got a problem with timing? Like you made Christmas ornaments in July? Warehousing solves that. Worried about risk? That's what insurance is for. Nobody knows about your product? Hello, advertising. And of course, the big one, how do we handle the money? Banking takes care of that. Seriously, without these 5 helpers, the whole system would just stop.
Okay, we've talked a lot of theory. Let's bring this all back down to earth with a super concrete, real-world example. For our last section, we're going to take a look at small businesses in India, which have a really cool system for classifying them.
Yeah, in India, they're called MSMEs. That stands for micro, small, and medium enterprises. And these aren't just a small part of the economy, they are the absolute backbone. And the government has a specific ministry that sets the rules for what counts as micro, small, or medium, all based on how much money is invested in the business.
So let's start at the bottom rung, a micro enterprise. If you're a manufacturing, the investment limit is up to 25 lakh rupees. Now, for those of us not used to that term, a lakh is 100,000. So we're talking about 2.5 million rupees. It's a bit less for service businesses.
Then you take a big step up to a small enterprise. Look at that jump. For manufacturing, the investment can go all the way up to 5 crores, and a crore is 10 million rupees. So that's a pretty significant business. And finally, at the top of this category, you have the medium enterprise. This one goes up to an investment of 10 crores for manufacturing. So you might be thinking, okay, cool numbers, but why does this matter? Well, being officially classified in one of these brackets is a really big deal because it unlocks all kinds of perks. And just look at some of these perks. If you're a registered MSME, you get easier access to bank loans. The government gives you priority when they're buying stuff. You can get lower interest rates, breaks on your electricity bill, tax rebates, even discounts to protect your patents. It's a whole ecosystem designed to help these crucial businesses grow. So there you have it. We went from the biggest question, why do we even do anything, all the way down to the specific rules for a small business on the other side of the world. These are the fundamental building blocks of our economy. They're the pieces that everyone uses, from the biggest corporation to the solo entrepreneur. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build?